So decadent, so chocolatey, soft, crispy. They are the best brownies ever. Welcome back to the vlog. It is a new day and we are gonna go on a shoot. Stay tuned to see where we end up and what we end up doing. So, cause I don't know. I am the professional behind the scenes filmer. Okay, that's my job today. So follow me along and see where we end up. We're all finished and we were exploring in the shop like we usually do and found something new to try. Super excited because Jess, who is the one behind Stoke Deli Bar and makes all the good food, she was saying that this is super delicious. So, and it's gluten-free, accidentally vegan. Ta-da! Japanese barbecue sauce. This looks so good. So I'm gonna use it on maybe some tofu or soy curls. We're just gonna try it out, see how it tastes, and I'm so excited to try something new. We are back and we are going to make brownies. So if you're interested in that, stick around. No, just kidding. Yeah, we're gonna make some vegan and gluten-free brownies. I think I've made this recipe gluten-free before, but don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. So this might be a first time trying to make these, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, first things first, what I did for this recipe, it requires aquafaba. So what I did is I used a can of chickpeas and I took all of the aquafaba that was in there and I put it aside. What I do, I learned this in my one course that I took, is I reduced it down. I only needed half a cup, so there was about, I think there was more than 3/4 of a cup in there. So what I always do is reduce aquafaba down. And now you can see it's very gelatinous and viscous. If you didn't know, now you know. So I'm gonna put that into my lovely stand mixer and we're gonna start whipping it. And to make sure it stays stable, we're going to add cream of tartar. And we're going to whip. Now we're gonna whip for 5 minutes. So while that's doing that, I'm gonna prepare the rest of my ingredients. All right, our first 5 minutes is up. Let's check it out. Alright, so we got some nice fluff going on here, but no stiff peaks yet. So we're going to put it back on for 5 more minutes and hopefully there'll be stiff peaks in 5. And we're gonna crank it up real high. It's been 5 more minutes, so let's check it out. Ooh, okay, now that's a stiff peak right there. That's super thick. So that's exactly what we're looking for. We're gonna add our sugar 2 tablespoons at a time. While the mixer is going to make sure it's incorporated, and we're going to start with our brown sugar first because, as I said before, just like in creaming recipes with butter, you want to put the more denser, less dissolvable sugar first so it has more time to actually dissolve into the recipe and not be crunchy at the end. Okay, now that we've put all of the sugar in the mixer and blended it, it's gonna go for 2 more minutes. So what I'm gonna do is just scrape down the sides and then let it go for 2 minutes, just to make sure everything's incorporated in there and we didn't miss anything. Let's check our peaks. Looking beautiful. And you can see it's a little bit shiny too. It kind of has a glare to it. That, or a glisten, that is what you're looking for as well. And you can see a little bit of the sugar grains in there, but that's okay. This is a meringue. This is sweet, edible. You can use this as a topping just as is. But we are going to now clean this off into the bowl, and then we're gonna add all the rest of the ingredients. And then I'm just gonna eat the remainder, because why not? All right, Dutch processed cocoa powder. We're gonna sift it to make sure there's no clumps going into here. 2 3/4 of a cup. Turns out I did write the gluten-free ingredients for this, so 1/2 cup of 1-to-1 gluten-free flour and 1/4 cup of chickpea flour. If you don't want this to be gluten-free, you can just do 3/4 of a cup of regular all-purpose flour. Baking powder, oil, milk, vanilla, and now we're going to fold, not stir, fold. You want to be keeping the air bubbles that are in the meringue. You want to be keeping those intact as much as possible. So we're just gonna fold until everything is combined. Now once it's getting close to being combined, I'm just going to add in our walnuts. These are optional, but I had them on hand, so might as well. You also want to make sure there's no white bits left. It's okay if there's some, but what I've noticed from making this a zillion times, you really want to make sure everything is fully combined and there's no dry spots left either, especially around the little bottom area. Okay, looks perfect to me, so let's pour it. I'm just gonna try and spread it out a little bit, but it's honestly so sticky that I usually just don't even bother. We're gonna let that bake at 325 Fahrenheit for 40 minutes, and we're gonna pull it out, see what it looks like, see if it's ready. It should be. Alrighty. So we have a lot of nice cracks going on, and let's get a toothpick and make sure it's done. I think I'm gonna put it back in for maybe 3 more minutes. We just took it out and let's test it again. All right, okay. You can't really see it, but that looks better. Let's transfer it over. Alrighty, so our brownies are cool. So let's slice one up and give it a try. Okay. Look at that, y'all. Oh yeah. Oh, looks delicious. One thing that I want to mention is to make sure that you use parchment, because I had a friend make this recipe and he did not use parchment, and he could not get it out of the baking pan. So highly recommend. I guess if you don't have parchment or you don't want to use parchment, you can try spraying it with oil or butter or whatever, and then flouring the pan with like gluten-free flour, regular flour, whichever you prefer. Give that a try, but I do recommend parchment because it is, because of the aquafaba, the meringue, it is very sticky usually, so it will just stick right to whatever it's cooked in. I always make sure I use parchment paper. Okay, so let's give it a try. That was like the perfect crispy. Oh my god, these are the best brownies ever. They're the best. They're so chocolatey and decadent. It's because of the cocoa powder. Since it's alkalized, it's darker. Dutch process. It has like a richer chocolatey flavor as opposed to with regular cocoa powder. It's more acidic. Oh my god. They're soft. I love a brownie with a good like crunch on the edge. Makes it more chewy. I think this is the first time I've ever put walnuts, and they're so good in this. You could put chocolate chips too. I've done it in the past. The thing I found is though, the chocolate chips just kind of melt in. Super weird, but yeah, they just like melted in. Still delicious, but I kind of like having, you know, seeing the chocolate chips and stuff. So decadent, so chocolatey, soft, crispy on the outside. That's what you want in a good brownie. Sweet, but not too sweet. And it almost has that dark chocolate bitterness at the end. So good. Oh yeah, and then the inside is like is so unbelievably soft, like just soft, squishy, just like melt in your mouth. Seriously. So I got this recipe from taking an essential vegan desserts baking course online, and they don't really have social media or anything like that for the actual person that made up this recipe. But I guess like maybe this is my recipe now because I made it gluten-free. That's it for the brownies. That's it for the brownies. I hope I have too much brownies in my teeth. You will have a mouthful of brownie in your teeth. That is going to be it for my video today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I will catch you in the next video. Bye!